you want to fight crime? Let's get dangerous.
Yes, it is showtime once again, and it is time for us to have some fun here on From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. I'm your host, Joe D. McPhee here. And yes, I have been here for quite some time here. Day 2 of C2E2 was fun, but rather taxing, but we're here doing a show nonetheless here. So hopefully you guys are doing okay out there. We're going to let some people get settled in first here before we go through everything here. But while we're doing that, let's go ahead and get the business ends of things out the way, saying that we always say here. Okay, there we go. Stupid O'Clock still happens 1 hour into our show here. I don't think we're going to go 2 hours tonight because we're still dealing with C2E2. We got our last day of that show on tomorrow, so that would mean that I need to end the show pretty much rather not really quickly, but I can't go the full distance here, mainly because of having to get up early to be there for day 3. But nevertheless, we got Stupid O'Clock, which is followed up by Last Man Standing at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then you get your respite until you have Nicholas Tucker for Nevermind the Furthermore, which is at 10 a.m. Eastern coming that Monday. And yes, there will be a comic book spectrum that is happening this Thursday. We're probably going to be talking about a lot of things C2E2 related, plus a lot of comic book related stuff as a whole here. So hopefully everybody will be ready and tuned for that here. As far as everything else that is happening, we're going to kind of save that for the update. But let's get to it because I know you want to get through it. And that is new comic book pickups for the week. We got to do this in 2 different stacks here. And the reason being is that we got our stack that's sitting right here in front of me. That is all the stuff that came in through the mail. And then we got, like I said before, C2E2 pickups. And the C2E2 pickups pretty much affects our collecting update a little bit later before we get into the actual updates and everything to that magnitude. So hopefully everybody will start catching in once we start new comic book pickups with Jughead as Captain Hero number 5. That's our first book for new comic book pickups for the week. Now, mind you, this is all the stuff that came through the mail here. We got a Jughead Jokes number 50, which is nice. Now, we got a whole bunch of Jugheads here, or at least I thought we had them all in order. I know that there was a little bit more. I think I got things out of order. Yeah, I got some things out of order here. So we're going to do all the Jugheads in one fell swoop because I know we had some older ones. We had some older Jughead, and it slowly moved into the more modern stuff here. So just give me one more second here before we do what it's doing here. There we go. So here we go. Now getting back to the plan at hand, we're dealing with Jughead. We got Jughead number 43 that came in. Then we got Jughead 44, which is nice. Then we're going to go all the way to 61, which is nice here. Him on the psychiatrist couch and everything, which is pretty good. Then we got issue number 67, which is nice. We're going to follow that up with issue number 80, where we have the alien there. Talking about, he was like, he went through a week's allowance in only 5 minutes eating hamburgers. And then we got 92, where we got his father up here asking him, he's like, you have plenty of food there. I hope you will start your homework soon. It's like, yes, Dad, as soon as I can find it. And then the classic issue 100, which is nice. 101. And it looks like he won an Academy Award. Then 113, where there's his mother who says, like, hey, why don't you go spend the afternoon on the volleyball court? And he goes to the volleyball court and he goes there to sleep. And then we jump from that far to 208 here, where we have Big Ethel saying, it's like, hey, Jughead noticed me. And that was just the simple fact of what he said. And then another one where with Big Ethel, it's like, Jughead says, my visiting this place reminds him of a television program. And he says Mission Impossible. And then we got 232, which is pretty much just like, hey, Jughead, put the food away. It's like, as soon as I can, as fast as I can. So he's eating up all the food before the moochers get there. Then we got 242, pretty much where he says, like, here's my 4-page composition. I like to relax. All one word on 4 pages, which is ingenious, but that doesn't work here. Then we got 248 here. It's like, where did Hot Dog learn how to play dead? By watching his master, which is pretty, it's okay joke. And then 251, we're talking about doing figure eights and everything, and pretty much Jughead takes off one skate and just draws the number 8 onto the ice here. So that's all the Jugheads that came in. And then we got some Film 5 finally come in here. We got the first 3 issues, I believe, of Film 5, which is right here. We got issue number 1, issue 2, issue 3 of Film 5. I believe Film 5 only went 6 issues here. And we got comments here. Yep, I am here. Yeah, Hot Dog was the catalyst for Afterlife with Archie. Oh, okay. And there's Elaine. I thought Elaine was going to be asleep. I thought she was going to be knocked out. But I guess I was wrong here. Now we got some old school Film Force here. So we got another issue, number 5. And then another copy of issue number 30. Eventually, I'm going to try to get an issue number 30 that's graded where it comes back a high 9, and I'll be happy here. Then we got the final one of my more missing pieces of Night Vale's Cauldron of Horror. This is issue number 3. I think I just about got all of them now for Cauldron of Horror. And I'm still missing pinup number 5 here for the Film Force pinup portfolio. I have all the volumes now except for volume 5. So we're getting close to having a complete set there. We got another copy of Prudence and Caution. And they saying that this one is actually signed. I'm trying to see who is, well, actually, I haven't opened it up here. But it is, they said it is signed. I have no idea. They didn't say who it was signed by. I know the one that I just sent in to CGC over this C2E2, mine was signed by Chris Claremont because I hand took it to Chris Claremont for the signature. This one, it has a sticker on there. It has the certificate of authenticity, but it does not say who signed it. So I'm just going to let it be for right now. So we got here we got ghost number 35. I thought I had some more ghosts here, but I guess they're buried somewhere. But there it is, ghost number 35. I believe that's from volume 2. Now we're getting close to having all of Gen 13 bootleg, which is I have issue number 17 right here. And then this is issue number 20. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why it's stuck on my side, but there it is again, issue number 17, and then issue number 20. And then, what was this issue again? This is a variant of Archie versus the World. I don't know which issue it is. This is Archie versus the World, issue number 1. And this is the Valerie Brown from Josie and the Pussycats variant cover here. Yes, sorry, ladies. Autocorrect. No problems here. I'm actually heading off to bed. I thought I should at least drop in. Cool. I'm trying. Well, people want to know. Well, since you guys want to know, and to be quite honest, I really don't. I really not all that caring about who signed it. But if this is a second Chris Claremont signature, I'll be happy, because if that one does not come back the way that I think it should, at least I have this one to try to send in. But I'm trying to pull this tape off where I could still reuse it. Okay, I think I can still reuse it. Most of the adhesive is still there. It was covered up by the whatchamacallit here. It was covered up by the certificate of authenticity. This was signed by Mike Weatherby, which is the inker on this particular issue. So this one is signed by the inker. So no, I did not get lucky, and it happened to be a second Chris Claremont signed one. But Mike Weatherby is not that bad. The inker, having the inker sign is not that bad. Not on my must get graded list as of yet, but it's good for having here. Okay, so we did get Martha Washington Must Dies, as well as Lady Mechanica Free Comic Book Day 2021, which is nice. Yes, as I said. So she's saying, it's okay. So CB Lil started barking when you say Lassie. Later, I'm sending origami crane with stickers, and they go and say, and they're saying thank you. It's like, you're welcome. Okay, I'm heading off to bed, or I won't be up tomorrow. Yep, night all. And then they're saying Mr. Weathersby. So we got Martha Washington Must Dies and the Lady Mechanica Free Comic Book Day. Those two things came in. Oh, here are the rest of the ghosts. So the ghost just one of the ghosts fell out of pocket here. So we got another copy of Ghost number 1 for volume 2. Issue number 2, volume 2. Issue 12, another copy of issue 12, another copy of issue 13. And here is issue 11 from volume 3, I believe. And this is volume 1, Ghost number 1. So we got more ghosts that came in. Now, this one, I may have overpaid for it, but to me, it is kind of worth the money. This is a pretty high grade copy, except for what's going on at the very top here, of Lois Lane number 7. So this is issue number 7 of Lois Lane. So this is a very low number of Lois Lane, because Lois Lane went into the hundreds. So getting an issue number 7 for the price that I did is okay, but I believe it could have been done better. Kind of like how with this one here, this is Patsy and Hetty issue number 95. Yeah, there's a big chunk out of it, but this is their graduation day issue more so than anything else. So that's one of the reasons why I bought it. And it was relatively cheap too. When I say relatively cheap, I paid less than $5 for it. So here is definitely what I believe is a water damaged Supergirl number 1. It definitely need to get pressed because it's all wavy and everything. But I believe it's water damaged in some form or some fashion, even though it doesn't show it. But you could tell by the waviness that some type of moisture had happened to this book. Then we got some old school Black Panthers from the short-lived limited 4-issue limited series. So we got Black Panther 1 and a Black Panther 2. And I believe I'm getting close to having that full set of the limited series. We got another Thing number 1, pretty high grade for like $8. And that actually came with this freebie here. And you guys know I'm not a big fan of Batman. So at first I was like, oh, I got this. Like, he gave me a Batman book until I saw that, oh, this is Batman and Black Canary. So I was like, okay, so we got Black Canary up in there. I'm kind of good with that here. You should use the scissors to trim a nice line against the missing chunk, and then it doesn't chip. Yeah, maybe. Then we got another copy of X-Men number 3 from the Volume 5 series. Another copy of Gargoyles Desdemona from Free Comic Book Day. That's another one. Then we got from Alfred Harvey a Black Cat number 9 here. I think these are reprints of the original Black Cats. Now this time it's in color, so that's a good sign here. We got Dawn the Pinup Goddess number 1. That came in. We got another copy of Doom Patrol, Unstoppable Doom Patrol number 1, the Who is Jane cover, with the actual scratch off still intact. Now, for those who don't remember, when Unstoppable Doom Patrol came out, there were so many different variant covers, and there were so many different variant covers of this book here. Jane could be, I think it was like 5 different characters when she looks up in the mirror, looks in the mirror here. But the key thing here is, like, once you scratch that silver stuff off, it does devalue your book. So that's the reason why I kept it this way. Then we got Avengers number 43. Again, this is the Jim Bartell Avengers cover. We got another copy of Gen 1349 from Volume 2. And then this is Gen 13 from Volume 4, I believe. We got Inhumans Judgment Day number 1. Marvel Voices number 1 for Free Comic Book Day. Marvel Voices Legacy number 1 with Monica Rambeau on it. Then we got the Uncanny Avengers number 1. I forgot which version of this it is. It is a variant version. I forgot which variant it is, but I think that's my second one. Not of that particular cover, but my second one of Uncanny Avengers. We got Once and Future Kings Inhumans issue number 2. We got another copy of X Factor 1. And now this stack is falling all over the place. It won't stay stacked up the way it's supposed to. Give me 1 second here. All right, stack is back being stacked, which is a good thing. We got some Vintage of Vampirella here. We got Vintage of Vampirella number 4 and number 6. So I'm getting close to having all of volume 1 from Harris Comics, Vintage of Vampirella. We're going to follow that up with Razor Burn number 2. Then we got Gen 13 and the Fantastic Four. And we're going to follow that up with Invisible Woman number 3. And then we got Americomics, and this is issue number 5, where we got Captain Freedom. And then I got one of the rare free comic book days from Wizard Comic Books, one of the How to Draw free comic book day books, which is nice. And then we ended up getting finally a good copy of New Mutants number 16. I believe this is the first time that the Hellions fought the New Mutants here. And I believe after this issue, that's when I forgot which group did it, but the Hellions died the issue after that. We got from volume 4, New Mutants number 5 from volume 4. And another copy of Spider-Woman number 1. Yeah, it's like it's like it's like OG 40s bookies. Yep. And then this is what we got in the hard case here. We ended up getting another She-Hulk 1. This is the Dan Slott and the Adi Granov cover at a 9.6. That came in. And then the 9.6 Hulk 1, which is the black and white sketch cover variant. So that's the black and white one. I do have the one of the colored ones here. I don't have the one where they have her in green. I have her as Jennifer Walters here. So I'm going to hold off on sending that one in. And then the one that made me happy here, which is a 9.8 of the Charles Soule run of number 1 here. So that was the stuff that came in through the mail. So that's the stuff that, really makes me kind of happy that we got new comic book pickups for the week. But because it is C2E2, there is a smaller stack of books that we got to cover before we deal with the update. So with that being stated, here we go with the smaller stack here. We're going to start the smaller stack with Mr. Miracle number 1 from the Tom King run first print. Now, I have Mr. Miracle number 1. I believe it was a second print plus the director's cut, but this is the first time that I actually had the first printing. So now I feel very good about that. Spider-Woman number 6 from volume 5. So that means I am not missing anything from volume 5 now. So that means that the update has changed here. We got from volume 7, issue number 20 and 21. So we're getting closer and closer to the end of hunting down the Spider-Woman here. We got X-Men number 2 from volume 5 and X-Men number 17 from volume 5. All of this was from C2E2 so far. And then somebody left this at my booth here, which is another copy of Planet Death here from Bad Idea. And this is the issue number 0. And then from yesterday, we end up getting Spider-Woman Origins number 4 and number 3, which now completes my Spider-Woman Origin set. We got Spirit Volume 2 from DC, which completes that here because I couldn't find my other number 3 in storage. And I believe all of this is from Volume 5 here. So Volume 5, Issue 7, 8, 13, and 15. And then we got into some Uncanny X-Men. I believe this is also Volume 5. Or is this Volume 4? Hold on. I believe it's Volume 5. Because I've been, checking everything as I go here. Yeah, this is Volume 5. So Volume 5, Uncanny X-Men. We got issue number 11, 15, 16, 17, which is the movie cover, which is weird, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Then that brings us to the current run, I believe, here, which is Volume 6. I believe Volume 6 is the current. Yeah, Volume 6 is currently the one that's being ran right now for Uncanny X-Men. Issue number 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, and 21. So that means that was all of the pickups from C2E2 to this point. So, comic book pickups for next week may have some more books from C2E2. I don't know as of yet. All the older books are way too pricey. Way too pricey. I mean, I found some Wonder Woman books that I wanted, but I'm not paying $500, $600, $700, $800 for books. It's bad enough that I gotta pay, $100+ for issues below, getting below 100. But there we got issues that like in like the 130s that they want $100 a pop for. I'm up here, it's like, no, those should be like $50 a piece. They're not high grade. They're not, of the most upper echelon, but it is what it is here. So you ordered sushi. Okay. Yeah. I sent you a Facebook message. Okay. And this list is what in particular? Countdown Arena, I think I could probably find. Aftermath for the Four Horsemen, that's probably going to be easy. Atomic Toy Box, I don't know. The Bad Girls, I don't know. And the reason I say I don't know because those titles are not as common as you think. And Ghost Station Zero, we might be able to get. But once I get into the actual update, C2E2 update, I would be able to address some of that here. No, that's again. Let me get to the update here, and I could tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying here. So now, since we hear C2E2 update, so far so good. We're doing very well as far as sales is concerned. As far as sales totals, as far as the amount of books sold, not amount of books sold, but total take in has already beat what we took in last year and we're equal to what we usually get over like the last 5 years, and we still got a full day to go here. There is a good possibility that like I said, I'm still keeping my fingers crossed, because if we could move at least a couple $1,000 worth of merchandise, it would be one of the best things ever. But we're getting close to like our high benchmark ever for C2E2 here, and that is a good thing here. And the reason why I say it's a good thing, because throughout the whole entire thing here, we had people buying the brand new Legends of the Giantess Slayer series. So we had a couple of people that bought that here. We had Sonya, who bought a couple of slabs. So I now know that the slabs are viable, and people are been looking at the slabs and everything. So we got customers who are willing to buy slabs now of our work, or the custom covers and stuff that I do, such as this one here. I know I posted this on Facebook for those who do follow me on Facebook, as I did ask about the background color. So shout outs to Neil on suggesting yellow, because with him suggesting yellow, it does kind of pop a little bit, because he said that the yellow will make the purple kind of pop here. So that's the front cover there. I'm going to kind of bring it in before you can see what she's saying. It's like, are you kidding me? And then the back, we have a more of a close up here, in still in the same yellow, and she says this. So we get, we try to get books like this slab, signature series slab, up on my artist account here, for people to have one of one artwork on our sketch covers here. And then, because I did challenge Elaine here, because Elaine did do a sketch card worth of Storm here, so I gave her one of my Storm sketch covers. Like, here, I'm going to try to help you make more money by making you do a sketch cover of Storm based upon the card that you did here. And she went ahead and did it. And it's like, okay, fine. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do one too. And I made certain that I didn't do the exact same one that she did here. So I got it basically penciled out here. I still got to ink it. I still got to color it. But yeah, I'm going to have that done. And on the back, I probably do kind of something similar, where it's more like a headshot or a different scene or action with Storm here. But there it is, Storm number one. I got ink it, and then put in the background and everything here for it. But I now know that people like the sketch covers and everything to that magnitude, so that's a good thing here. And also, this is one of the first times that we teamed up with other people at C2E2, other creators and artists, where we did a little bit of a scavenger hunt. And the way it works is that if anybody purchased from any of us in the scavenger hunt list, we give them a map of where everybody who's participating, a card with a map that we sign for every time a person comes by after they buy from one person. And when they come by and everything, we give them our pitch as far as our books and products and everything to that magnitude. If they buy, they buy. If they don't, we give them something, and then we sign their card. And the first 10 people who completes the scavenger hunt would get a goodie bag of comics and other comic book related memorabilia that's worth over $100+ here. And when we say $100+, it's not just, books and stuff from the creators that work. The organizer went out of his way to get some really, really good graphic novels and stuff to put in these goodie bags, in addition to all the other books and stuff that we donated here. So it was worthwhile to complete the scavenger hunt, but also at the same time, it brings business to everybody. And that's been helping us a lot to, get people to stop by, because with us being at the very front of the show, people always bypass us. And by the time they get to like Artist Alley or the small press publishers back in the back, and they finally buy from somebody back there, it's real easy for them to zip around that area, but it forces them to come back to the front, to come back to us. And then they're up there like, oh, we missed you the first time around, or we've been having a hard time trying to find you because we thought you was going to be back there. But, it is what it is for right now here. And yep, she says she was going to say yellow. So, that's been helping us out a lot too. One of the other things that I'm also thinking too is like, earlier this year, after what was going on between what was happening with the showrunners and everything, I was at one time thinking that I just might not just do C2E2 anymore. But what I now think here is that I might just give up the premiere space and just go with whatever 10 by 10 is available now, instead of always monopolizing the premiere space, because people are not stopping anymore. People are not looking for comic book publishers up in the front here. There is no other major players in the game up in the front. There is no more Marvel. There is no more DC. No Image, no Top Cow. Now, not to say that, some of the others like Boom was there, but they have their booth somewhere else towards the front. We're not grouped together anymore. And I said this in an interview today, that it's really kind of weird, where it's like you're the only publisher, one of a few publishers towards the front of the show, but they got you next to a place that's selling purses. On the other side of you is people selling Pokemon cards. Your next door neighbor is selling hairpins. People going to walk past you because you're the one that's selling comics. You're the publisher. You're trying to sell comics, and it just doesn't work. And then other like-minded creators are back in the back towards Artist Alley, which is just really, really, what it is here. Yeah, that's kind of like the messed up thing about it, because one of the things that what I learned from doing shows like C2E2 New York, San Diego, and a lot of the bigger ones, getting to Artist Alley is not an easy feat. And there's a lot of big names that challenge for Artist Alley spots here. Your best bet is to buy a booth, but it's kind of like luck of the draw. It's like kind of like luck of the draw and rolling the dice as far as where you're going to be at when you buy just a regular booth here, unless you get premiere space. Premiere space, you kind of do have a little bit of a say, but beyond that, it's kind of like luck of the draw, and it's really more along the lines of, if you got a good sales rep and they know what you do and how you do, they try to group you with people of like product. When you get premiere space, it's not always that way, and it's getting more and more weird that way. That it's like, Funko Pops and all of these other knick-knacky type deals is monopolizing premiere space here, which forcing people like me to move more towards Artist Alley now, which is just weird. Yeah, that's what take up at least 70% of my time here. Yeah, because yes, I like Funko and jewelry, but I want comics at Comic-Con. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. It's just, I get why they don't focus on comics as much, because a lot of the people who are creatives can be picky, to be polite and nice here. But also saying that to say too is that, they get their bigger bang for their buck, the showrunners do, when they concentrate more on the entertainment side. It runs a lot smoother and makes them more money when you got got at least, a quarter of your attending audience wanting autographs and stuff from celebrities, or trying to get in there to get the latest and greatest Funko Pops. But saying all that to say, one of the things that I really missed is that there's not really too many vendors with the cheapo boxes anymore. And that's the thing. It's like there's no true dollar bin diving anymore. Like I got these books from a place that was like each book is like $3 unless you get 7, and it's like 7 gets you 20. And then the other booth from today was like each book was like $5 a pop unless otherwise marked. So I had one that was $4, all the rest were 5. But there's no 3 for $1 anymore. There's no dollar books anymore. And when I started to look for things that I really want, like Mr. Miracle issue number 19, nobody really had it. And then when I started looking at Wonder Woman books below 130, I'm looking at issue 129. They wanted $100 for it. I was like, Comic Connect had that book over there, in a decent condition for $60. Why I'm paying, a $40 markup and your book is not better than what being offered over here? Those are the types of things that I just don't get here. Yeah, inflation and the fact that the tables went up considerably over the past 5 years. Well, that doesn't mean much about the tables going up, but it's just more along the lines, like, for example, I'm finding the more modern stuff at the $5 and $3 places. The older stuff, you want to pay that markup. You're going to have to pay the convention markup. Period. It's sad, but it's true. I would prefer not to, but you're going to have to. Now, what I'm also missing is that we know that there's some books that are just dollar bin fodder, but none of these stores have them. None of these, at least comic book vendors that are there, have them. They got a lot of like these blanks of stuff that they want, $10 to $20 a piece for. I just shake my head. It's like the only people that could benefit off of blanks are artists. We're not going to pay you $20 per blank sketch cover for that. Unless we just like, we know we have clientele that we could sell like one of our sketch covers for like $150 to make up for the cost here. But just to be selling it, it's like, upper echelon is like $10 should be like your upper limit, but there's some that was doing them for high as 20. A lot of the older books here, even the Mr. Miracle number 1, I ended up paying $45 for it. And that was the highest total book that I bought, because I have not seen too many issue number 1 first print come around that was below $100 something. So I thought, I was like, okay, let me pick this one up, because Greed Bay and all these other places, they're just charging asinine amounts of money. Now I probably could have lucked up and hit a Whatnot show and probably got one for cheaper, but the likelihood of that is few and far between here. But the thing about it is, like, I'm expecting to like be able to find all the more modern stuff there, and lo and behold, you've seen what happening with me tracking down a lot of the X-Men and a lot of the Uncanny X-Men stuff that I'm missing, and even the Spider-Woman stuff. It's kind of like hit or miss, but it just doesn't feel the same when it comes to vendors. And not to say that it's the vendor's fault here. It's just more along the lines, they know what to bring to shows and what actually sells, and for them to make their price points to get their booth cost back. I mean, I've been seeing a lot more stores selling things like graphic novels than actual issues. And then those who have actual issues, those prices are just like, I just can't do them. I look at them like, I can't do this. I just can't. And then the other thing, like I said, going around looking for Wonder Woman, it's like, oh, they got maybe like 5 issues of Wonder Woman from volume 1, sometimes only 2. And those 2 were like, oh, this is tail end of the 70s. And then the places that do the older books, just forget it. That markup is beyond ridiculous. Now, I did see some very immaculate ones, and I was like, if I was wealthy, I would just go ahead and plop down the money to get it. And we're talking about, Wonder Woman Volume 1 issues that was like low 50s and above and below, I should say, low 50s and below. I was like, if I had the money, I would be like, here, take it all. Take it all. Then when I say take it all, I'm talking about, what was it? I saw like a Wonder Woman 36 out of 4.5, and the guy only wanted $550. I was like, here, take my money. Now, if I have a very good day where we do, about like over $1,000 worth of sales, I'll be like, yeah, easily. It's like, go back to him. It's like, remember that book you showed me? I want it now. Give me that. But I don't know. But the list that you sent to me here, it's feasible. I just wish there was more people that had like, the $2 and $3, sales here. It's just, I just don't know what it is. Everybody wants to have, their books sold at fair market value or fair market value with the convention markup. And I just can't see it. I just can't see it here. But nevertheless, if I get there, well, I will get there early enough here. So I probably would check on some of the lists here and everything. And then whether or not I shake an angry fist at you or not depends on price wise. If the $1-3 place have the majority of them, I probably won't be as upset, because the 7 for $20 is a decent deal. 7 for $20, I'm looking at what, 10, 15, 18, 24 books. 24 books, that's probably, see, I got 21 for 60. So yeah, $70 is not that bad of a stretch. It's not that bad of a stretch, or getting close to that, but we'll figure it out later. But that's just, that's not that hard. I kind of wish that there was more, more people that had boxes like that where we could go through and get things here. But a lot of those people are just not there. And I was talking to one of the guys that's over there that works for Freeman about one of the things that's really, really harsh. And that harshness is that for brand new people, for their very first C2E2, and with a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, if they have a bad experience, whether it be lack of sales, lack of cooperation from people in like the parking lots, or people who are on the floor that represented by either Freeman or by C2E2, they're not coming back. They will automatically refuse to come back. And I see that with a lot more with the comic book vendors than those who are selling like Funko Pops and fudge and, apparel and all this other stuff. They're making their money. People who selling soda pops, they're making their money. The people who are selling books, on the other hand, not so much. And the bigger names are showing up, the Harley Yees, the Metropolis Comics, and everything. And I don't see their booths being like mobbed with a whole bunch of people. They do have their clientele that comes over there, and they do spend their money. But the places that I see that has the most people are the places that have like the $3 books, the $5 books, and they go through those boxes over and over and over again, trying to pick up stuff that they can't find. Everybody else is like they get people looking for specific stuff and they haggle. And like I said before, I have seen, quote unquote rare books for some of these people, like, New Mutants, what, 96 first Deadpool. And it's like those asking prices, it's just like, why I want to pay a con markup? Like, for example, I saw a first newbie and a person wanted $475 non-graded. $475 non-graded. I was like, mm-mm, mm-mm. I did see a couple of absolute Batman ones, but like I said before, it's just some of these prices is just like I look at them like, nah. I saw what was it? Wonder Woman 86. Water damage, this color, all this other stuff, and the guy still wanted close to $200 for it because it was below issue 100. I get it because those issues are rare because not everybody have them, but I'm not paying the convention markup for books that I know would be no more than like $100 at best. But it is what it is. Now for newer stuff, for creator owned stuff, it's a whole different ball game. People come, looking for comics, and we're there and we doing something that interests them, they will buy. That is reassuring. That part is reassuring to me here. But the messed up thing about it is that even with all these vendors that are there, and they do go around to Artist Alley, they do go around seeing what artists are there, because again, these stores do get their signatures, they do get their products and stuff signed and everything for their clientele for whatever city that they work out of. But what is messed up is that there's not more of a partnership with those who are doing creator owned titles. And these stores are not trying to do partnerships with us creators like that, where it could be a mutual thing. It's like your customer base could become our customer base, and we could pretty much cut your expenses down as far as getting our books. But it is what it is here. The good thing, the other good thing that happened here is that Greg Horn has now at least 20 copies of AWF number 3. So for those who do follow Greg Horn, once he sends a whole bunch on to CGC here, you might be seeing them on his Whatnot shows and everything more often now. So that's a good thing. And the good thing about that is that because he does not own the rights to the issue, they do have to come back to us here. It's kind of like a win-win. It's his artwork. It's his artwork. He's entitled to show his own artwork. I don't have a problem with that here. And it kind of works that his fan base, if they like it, they know where to come to get the rest of the series if they are truly interested in reading what the series is about. So, like I said, my job is to make everybody money as a publisher, not just myself, for anybody who work on covers, anybody that works on lettering. We all make money or we don't make any money, period. It's like, what was the old rap saying? It's like, it ain't no fun until everybody gets some. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. It doesn't make any sense for me to be the only one to make money while everybody else is suffering. Because that way, if it was like that, people won't work for you. People will half-ass things. But if you treat them right, treat them good, and do what you need to do as far as getting everybody exactly what they need here. Just like with Steph Wilson, I still need to come up with the money before I could get the foils over to him, because he has his own show, and once we get the foils, at least a good enough stash of the foils for issue number 7 of Amazonia, I'm going to give him another 20 or 30. It's like, do as you will. You gotta show people love your artwork. You know, the only thing is good advertisement for us, and it makes you money. Even though I paid you your fee and everything, it still makes you money. Do as you will. Sometimes you just got to do that. There's Tat. There's Tat here. So, you know, those are the types of things that are really happening behind the scenes of C2E2. Other things that happened, I did attend a award ceremony on Friday. No. Yeah, it was on Friday. So Friday, and if you paid attention to the actual YouTube channel, you would see a video out there that was uploaded that says comic books for kids to the 2026 comic books for kids awards. I was at that particular award ceremony. I did record it off of my cell phone and everything. So if you wanted to see the full ceremony and everything, and for those who wanted to know why I was there, one of the organizers for the multiverse fundraiser that we participate with Comic Book Spectrum, one of the organizers accepted the award for the multiverse fundraiser for this year, and she wanted us to be there to kind of be like, you know, representing Comic Book Spectrum as one of the few panel shows that were, you know, full of independents that was helping them raise the money for comic books for kids. So I was there, happened to have my cell phone. We recorded the whole hour of the award ceremony and went from there. So it was kind of good to be there and to see how far the money that we raised for comic books for kids, which is also has an offshoot that's, I believe, comic books for soldiers as well, how far the money, the comics, and where and how it affects the kids that receive these comics here. So that's the reason why I kept the video and posted it out there on this particular YouTube channel. I did tag those who usually participate in the multiverse fundraiser, for they can see the full ceremony and everything here, and see how one of the major organizers, Kelly Gunther, did on stage and everything to that magnitude, and to actually see, you know, some of the stories and see and hear about some of the things that were being done behind the scenes at that particular charity. It was a very nice hour. It's like, for those who may want to watch it, it is out there on the From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher YouTube channel here. It is marked for public viewing and everything to that magnitude. So it is a good time. It's a good time that I actually had here. So that was one of the other things that had happened during the whole C2E2. So with that being stated here, that pretty much brings me to the end of the mid-show update here. I don't think there's too much more stuff that I could talk about other than trying to finish up the Storm sketch cover, but beyond that, it is what it is here. I thank you so much, Dad. other than that, I'm just hoping for a very big day. If somebody comes with like a big bag of money and buys a lot of slabs and everything and and we make, close to 2 grand on one day to make my heart really sing and be like, we're here, we want to stay going. But right now, we made more money within like the last, compared to the last 5, I would say even the last 8 years. We made more money in these 2 days than we made in conventions in the last 8 years. It's very hard to get back to the way that we used to sell back in like the early 2000s, but we're not a brand new company anymore, but we do have brand new product that comes out each and every year. The one of the major things that I kind of wish we had was the role playing game, and that's coming soon. But we did have the brand new comic book title. We did have the re-release of the corrected version of issue 5 for primetime Saturday night in its A cover. The foils are still jacked up. We're still working on that. We're still trying to figure out what actually happened, but at least we got that together here. So my major goal is to make certain that everybody who buys from us is happy with their purchase here. Speaking of which, there is an apology that I do have to make here. I did not activate the Legends of the Giants and Slayer on the actual company website as of yet. The reason being is because I got so busy that I didn't realize that I haven't turned it on for people who could not be at C2E2 to buy it. So when I finish the show tonight, I'm going out to Wix and I'm making certain that people can start buying them from this point forward. So the digital version is ready to go. If you want a physical version, you can order it and then we'll send it to you via mail and everything to that magnitude here. So I do apologize for that. I said that we were going to have it active Thursday. Everything just went, sideways from Wednesday to now, as far as getting the chance to sit down and making certain that the company website had it active. But now, since I made certain that I have to make time to do that, we're going to do that right after this show here. So that way, you're not going to be missing out here. Everything is still going to be active. And we're still keeping our word about the C2E2 edition of that. That won't hit the website until, I want to say, until May. We're not putting that out there until May. But we're going to have the A cover and we're going to have the Not Safe for Work cover available for you to be able to purchase. So with that in mind, I'm not certain if there's anything else or any other questions that you guys have about C2E2 here. You have to be mindful. I couldn't go to many panels because why? We're selling books. If anything, like I said before, I try to get there as early as possible before the general public comes in the door. So usually around that 9 o'clock hour, just before they open up the doors, 1 hour before, most people are there. They have their stuff ready for sale and everything. And that's when I go and pick up whatever stuff I want to pick up and then get back to my booth by 10 and go from there. So on that note, let's life grow and be well. We're going to call it a night here. I will see you guys next week here. We want to have some more stuff to talk about. We got to talk about this whole PSA, CBCS, and CBS, CBCS going bye-bye. We have to talk about that. We have to talk about the lie that was told by PSA. Take care, Tat. We have to talk about the lie about that PSA told us when they bought Beckett, and a couple other things here. But I know how people are reacting right now. I'm seeing it's like, we told you so, this, that, and the other. It's like, yeah, the writing was on the wall, but PSA lied. People don't. What makes me think people don't read. It's like if you read all the press release when PSA bought Beckett, the one thing that was expressly said was that they had no plans of stopping CBCS. They were going to run the two in parallel. That was because they did not want to mire the Beckett name. That was in press releases. Fast forward to now, final submissions. CBCS is no more. This smells like shades of what Marvel did to Malibu. Marvel didn't need Malibu for their titles. Marvel needed Malibu for their coloring technique. PSA really didn't need Beckett per se. They were a leader in grading cards already, something that Beckett was a leader in as well. PSA tried to get into the comic book grading market. Beckett had already established a name for itself. So it was stand a chance that Beckett was really purchased for CBCS and to annex those graders. But I digress. That's something for next week. So hopefully you enjoyed that preview here. And we are out. I do need to get some rest and everything here because I want to get as much rest as possible here. That's one of the reasons why Elaine did what she did. She dropped by and everything to that magnitude. I know I wasn't going to go the full 2 hours here because I know for a fact I just need to get my rest and relaxation as well. And to actually finish working on sketch covers too. But with that being said, live life, grow, and be well. We are out. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. I think that's correct from The Sound of Music. But anyway, that's a whole different ball of wax too. Well, good evening. My East Coast people, enjoy the rest of your Saturday here. I'm giving you guys what? Oh, you guys are getting almost like 50 minutes of your Saturday before you become in the future here. Everybody else, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. For those who are here in Chicago, I'll see you at C2E2 tomorrow. If you're going to the show, make certain that you stop by booth 829. We got books for you. And if you do buy from us, you can start your path on the scavenger hunt here for a prize package worth $100+ in books and other comic book memorabilia here. So, bye.